This is TWiT.
The well-known internet domain registrar and more recently cloud hosting provider GoDaddy said that a hacker gained access to the personal information of more than 1.2 million customers of its WordPress hosting service using a compromised password which gave the attacker access to the provisioning system in their legacy code base for their managed WordPress. So reading between the lines, it sounds like they had a legacy code base. They had some like a WordPress hosting management system that they'd stopped using, right? They were no longer using it, but they didn't turn it off, because, hey, if it's not broke, wait till a hacker finds it. Being one of the world's largest domain registrars and a web hosting company providing services to more than 20 million customers worldwide, as well as being publicly traded, they needed to promptly inform the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. In the SEC documents, which were filed yesterday, GoDaddy stated that it discovered the breach last Wednesday after noticing what they called suspicious activity on their managed WordPress hosting environment. Subsequent investigation revealed that a hacker had unfettered access to GoDaddy's servers for more than 2 months. Ouch. Since at least September 6th. And based upon the available evidence, the hacker had gained access to up to 1.2 million active and inactive managed WordPress customers who had their email addresses and customer numbers exposed. The original WordPress admin password that GoDaddy had issued to those customers when a site was first created. For active customers, their secure FTP login and database usernames and passwords were exposed. For a subset of active customers, the SSL private key was exposed. Ouch. GoDaddy had already reset the secure FTP and database passwords exposed in the hack, as well as the admin account password for customers who were still using the default one that GoDaddy had originally issued when their sites were created. GoDaddy's currently in the process of issuing and replacing new SSL certificates for affected customers, and they've notified law enforcement and are working with an IT forensics firm to further investigate the incident. Customers were also notified of all this, or like a sanitized version of this actually, yesterday. And for those who are counting, this is not GoDaddy's first trouble with breaches. Last May, GoDaddy alerted some of its customers that an unauthorized party used their web hosting account credentials in the previous October of 2020 to connect to their hosting account via SSH. In that instance, GoDaddy's security team discovered the breach after spotting an altered SSH file in GoDaddy's hosting environment and suspicious activity on a subset of GoDaddy's servers. In other words, they saw this guy doing stuff. And back in 2019, scammers used hundreds of compromised GoDaddy accounts to create 15,000 subdomains, attempting to impersonate popular websites and redirect potential victims to spam pages offering bogus products. And before that, earlier in 2019, GoDaddy was found to be injecting JavaScript into U.S. customers' sites without their knowledge, thus potentially rendering them inoperable or impacting their overall performance. So there's been some problems. I registered grc.com in December of 1991, a few months after Microsoft registered Microsoft.com. And I chose Network Solutions since they were the original internet registrar. But our longtime listeners will know that I could finally no longer tolerate Network Solutions' slimy upselling tactics. It was necessary to say no to various offers over and over again, and more annoyingly, to carefully read and uncheck various enabled by default additional cost services which other registrars were by then offering for free. So I started to feel as though my loyalty had become misplaced, and I decided that I had to move. As we know, I chose Hover, also a sponsor of the TWiT network, and I've never looked back. When I was making the switch, I considered GoDaddy. Mark Thompson uses them and recommended them, but they were too brightly colored and sort of hyper-commercial looking.
Talking about upsell, they're the worst.
Oh, my God, yes.
And aren't you now glad that you didn't?
Oh, Leo, their website, yes, exactly. And that was the point I was going to make, is their website looked like a cartoon.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to get away from.
Right.
The last thing you want in a domain registrar is excitement. Things are rather excited over at GoDaddy right now. No, thank you. What you want from a domain registrar is a great deal of boredom.
Boring.
Just do that job and don't go jumping up and down and like trying to be more, because boy, you open yourself to this kind of mess.
Yep.